Hi everyone, I've set up a mini super system in my living room. I have two questions about it. So first let me show you the system and tell me what you think. We have the climbing line coming up from the bottom, going through the delta ring around the tie-in point and tied back to the delta ring with a figure 8 on a bite. Connected to the delta ring is the top pulley, and that runs, the climbing line runs through that top pulley. Then when we get down to the bottom, you can see the bottom pulley, which is upside down, a little carabiner connected to the bottom pulley, and then we have way down here is our climber connected via the V split tail. Here we have our little our little bridge knot, and then the Blake's hitch and a little stopper knot right here. And how the system works is the climber pulls down on the tail, and then up goes the pulley, and of course they're advancing the Blake's hitch all the way, and they can get all the way until the two pulleys meet up at the top, and that's as far as they can go, and then they'll pull down on their Blake's hitch to descend. It seems that a part of this system is the friction at the tie-in point. As long as there's enough friction, the top pulley won't move. And to demonstrate that, I figured out that if I replace the tie-in point with something with a much less friction, hold on one second. Alright, so let's get back in frame here. So now we have a if you're ever climbing and you feel the need to tie into the handle of a Swiffer broom, your system would look something like this. Let me lower the climber's pulley, and this needs to go right about there. Okay, so the exact same system, much less friction at the top. So let's go back down to the bottom and look at the climber again. As the climber's ready to descend or ascend, he will pull down, and up goes the purple pulley, the upside down pulley. So now let's look what's happening up at the top. The figure 8 on a bite is lowering, this figure 8 on a bite right here is lowering down, and as we watch what happens, there's not enough friction to keep this from rubbing right here, and as we look at the two pulleys right in the middle, they've jammed up, but the tie-in point above it is, a foot lower, or we could say 50% lower than the length of the climb. Had this been a 40-foot climb, the climber was only able to go 20 feet because the system elongated 20 feet above the top pulley. Safety-wise, it's no big deal because they would still be able to use their Blake's hitch and descend to the ground, and then we would grab this leg right here to set that pulley back up there. So the two questions I have is, one, is the system set up properly? And then assuming that it is, the second question, and the most important question, is what can be done to minimize or completely prevent that top loop from elongating and allowing the climbers, allowing that top pulley to descend